Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2 is among the most popular and beloved titles in the entire line of Dragon Ball games. Whether it was because of the wide roster of playable characters or the beautifully animated transformations, Raging Blast 2 was also a popular hotspot for attacks in the game known as Ultimate Attacks. Ultimate Attacks are special moves that can be used once fully charged in high tension mode, usually boasting a powerful appearance and impressively animated sequences. But now that we've covered the worst of the bunch in another video, today we're going to be looking at my personal picks for the top 10 best Raging Blast 2 Ultimate Attacks. Before we begin though, I should reiterate this for the people in the back. All of these picks are my personal opinion, and you are welcome to disagree or ratio the hell out of me on Twitter for being incorrect. But you be sure to let me know what your list for the top 10 best Ultimate Attacks in Raging Blast 2 are as well. I'd love to see what you've got in your list. But alas, with that out of the way, let's dive into the number 10 spot.
I'll kill you quickly!
This entry might be a surprising one for many of you, given how much of a laughingstock Raditz is. However, when it comes to his ultimate attack, I'm honestly really impressed with how they managed to make a seemingly generic energy wave attack look as pretty as it does. I don't know why, but the way Raditz builds up the energy in his palm during the intro animation is really satisfying to look at, and it only gets better when he fires it. Sure, the actual beam itself looks generic, but the sheer amount of black and white particles flickering around the start of the beam is absolutely gorgeous to me. It really helps sell just how powerful this technique is for Raditz, especially since most of his attacks have been pink and purple projectiles up until now. But while Raditz isn't exactly a flashy character visually, he definitely has a very pretty ultimate attack to use and look at. That being said, the overall animations are generic, and it definitely brings it down a notch, but it's overall a very solid ultimate attack, and it lands its spot as number 10 on today's list.
Get out!
Super Saiyan 3 Broly's ultimate attack is a pretty nifty rush attack that's directly referenced from the very first Dragon Ball Z Broly movie. You'll probably recognise this as the set of attacks he directly performs against Piccolo. Plus, you can honestly feel that it's a combo belonging to Broly because every hit he lands feels like a truck connected with the opponent. Plus, watching that energy blast seamlessly carry the opponent away to an explosion was really satisfying. Though there are a few things that definitely stops this from breaching the top 5. First off, the connecting headbutt feels really weak in comparison to the other attack. But then there's the honestly goofy run that Broly does. I know that he also does this run in the movie, but it honestly wasn't translated that well in game. It ends up looking more goofy than it does intimidating. Still, that doesn't take away from the fact that this is a really cool ultimate attack for Broly and definitely earns its spot at number 9 on today's list.
Take this! Big flying attack!
Definitely one of my favourite moves that Vegeta uses. The Super Saiyan version of Big Bang Attack has got to be my personal favourite version of the move Big Bang Attack. Just seeing Vegeta sparking around at a big aura as he prepares the attack is a super cool shot. It gets even better when Vegeta actually launches the attack too. The actual projectile itself is stunning, especially the pulsing effect that it leaves behind. Furthermore, the enemy getting consumed by the blast before it detonates is a really cool way to convey how explosive the actual attack is. It's a beautiful projectile and the attack animation, but it's definitely not as impressive as the other entries on this list. But that shouldn't take away how awesome and impressive the actual ultimate attack itself is. It's a really cool ultimate. Thus, the Big Bang Attack lands itself at number 8 on today's list.
You're through! Impossible!
Probably the most iconic set of attacks you'll see from Ultimate Gohan, the Burst Rush is honestly a pretty good ultimate attack overall. The way that this ultimate is animated in sequence does so many favours in portraying just how powerful Ultimate Gohan was at the time. Each blow is individually cut and snapped into another blow, giving Gohan this almost light speed feel as he pummels the opponent mercilessly. Furthermore, the opponent's expression of constantly being afraid or struggling gives off that impression that Gohan is absolutely unstoppable, and it really shows. Additionally, the fact that the attack is constantly moving around into new spots around the map prevents the attack from feeling slow and sluggish. When we get to see the opponent look powerless as they catch themselves on the floor, It definitely shows just how messed up the opponent really got from that sequence of attacks. They're kind of processing what just happened. The final cherry on top, however, is Gohan's Kamehameha, finishing the ultimate off in a blaze of glory. Overall, a fantastic ultimate attack and definitely worthy of being on today's list at number 7.
You have no chance.
Super Android 13 definitely got a lot of love from the developers in Raging Blast 2, and you can honestly tell. Not only was he given some really cool animations, but they finally updated the ultimate attack all the way from Budokai Tenkaichi 3. In that game, the iconic pummeling transitioned into the ground slam and blast attack, which felt really weird, honestly. But in this game, we finally get the brutal sequence from the movie in all its glory. My personal favourite touch on this ultimate is how the intro dialogue is usually taunting the opponent, with lines like, "You have no chance," or "There's nothing you can do." Like, those lines are like small details, but it really helps sell that this is like the pinnacle of power, the finishing move that 13 has in store. After that, 13 grabs the opponent by the head and tosses them afar before sprinting after them. Unlike Broly's gigantic Buster Run, 13 running undeniably feels like a gigantic monster chasing down the opponent. What follows is a brutal flurry of attacks being launched as the enemy is still flying in the air. The game does a good job at showing the movement of this attack, demonstrating the speed and power that 13 has in this animation. Lastly, 13 launches the opponent to the floor before annihilating them with a beautifully detailed SS Deadly Bomber. I love everything about this ultimate, from the brutal throws to the amazing projectile. Super 13 really got given a lot of love in this game, and I'm glad that he got this much love for a character that fans honestly aren't that fond of. All in all, a brutal yet gorgeous ultimate attack that stands atop the number 6 slot.
You're tough!
Kicking off the top 5 best ultimates is the Super Spirit Bomb from Goku. This attack got a massive glow up compared to how it looked in Raging Blast. For as beautiful and pretty the first game was, it definitely disrespected the Super Spirit Bomb at its scale. In this game, however, the Super Spirit Bomb is absolutely incredible. The projectile looks fantastic and feels gigantic, looking as if even Goku's struggling to hold it. When the ultimate hits, we get a really cool sequence of the opponent holding back the bomb, and it looks massive. The opponent looks tiny in comparison, and I really adore just how gigantic the attack looks and feels. Goku then transforms into Super Saiyan, complimenting the opponent before we cut to their reaction of fear. Honestly, that moment was a part of the ultimate I never knew I needed. Just to see the opponent wide-eyed and instantly realise that they're screwed. Goku then detonates the Super Spirit Bomb, and it truly feels like a massive explosion. I adore this ultimate attack because it honestly finally fixed the issues that the first game had when it came to this attack. Compared to what it looked like in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. This moment is legendary, and I genuinely thought that Raging Blast 1 undersold the Super Spirit Bomb. Thus, the Super Spirit Bomb and its legendary glow-up lands its spot here at number 5.
I'll beat you to the ground! Goodbye!
At number 4 is First Form Cell's ultimate attack called See Ya. This is an ultimate attack from the first game that's relatively unchanged. However, that doesn't change the fact that this is a super cool ultimate attack. Cell's beginning punch feels savage, just like it did in the anime. Then we get to see Cell slowly approach to defeat opponent menacingly before lifting him up by the chest, piercing him with a blast after a goodbye. It's such a raw and menacing ultimate attack that's honestly a surprise given how much he's written off in favour of Perfect Cell. So for First Form Cell to be given this brutal and impressively simple ultimate attack is definitely a love letter to people who like to play this version of Cell more. Truly worth his position at number 4 on today's list. Kicking off number 3 is Future Gohan's biggest combination attack. A lot of the reasons I like Burst Rush on this list are the same reasons I enjoy Fierce Combination here. However, with Fierce Combination, I can massively appreciate the choreography and camera work that makes this ultimate attack as good as it is. Gohan's kicks and absolutely mean hook feel incredibly strong. Plus the slam to the floor has such a great build up and execution. The cherry on the cake is definitely the backflip into the Kamehameha. The build up and execution, even panning to Gohan's face to show struggle is an amazing detail, and I couldn't be happier with the end result. Admittedly, Future Gohan is without a doubt one of the coolest iterations of Gohan in my opinion, so it makes me happy that I get to write him down as number 3 on today's list.
Show you what my dad and I accomplished together!
Much like the Super Spirit Bomb, Gohan's father-son Kamehameha got a massive glow-up compared to how it was handled in Raging Blast 1, and hell, even the Budokai Tenkaichi game. The build-up is just as good, the actual Kamehameha wave looks fantastic and insanely powerful, but the real meat and potatoes is definitely the animation that happens once it hits. We get to hear this awesome dialogue about how far Gohan and his father have come together, before the incredibly gorgeous shot of Goku behind Gohan, firing the Kamehameha together. The last shot of the enemy in shock before cutting back to the Kamehameha is a really cool detail too, especially with the ending of the enemy getting absolutely destroyed. In my personal opinion, this is an ultimate attack that truly lives up to the title of ultimate. It feels like the pinnacle of power. It feels like a dangerous move, and it looks like one too. It's almost perfect, and I really cannot understate just how cool this ultimate truly is at number 2 on today's list. Before we dive into the number 1 spot, let's just quickly go over some honourable mentions for the list. First up is Supernova. It's a beautiful projectile with some pretty good animations, definitely worthy of mentioning on this list. Omega Blaster from Broly, honestly a really awesome projectile with a good sequence that fits Broly like a glove. Dimension Sword Attack from Janemba, and it's honestly a really great way to complement the unpredictability that Janemba has in this game. A surprising pick for Android Charge 14 and 15. You beat the ever-loving piss out of the opponent for a long time. It's a simple but a really fun ultimate to sit through. And lastly, Darkness Sword Attack. A swift and clean ultimate with a brutal and satisfying finishing blow. Now again, there's a lot more entries I could have put onto this list, but these are just a few of many I could have put on this list, so if your favourite ultimate is not on this list, then please don't take it personally. This is just my opinion at the end of it. But with that out of the way, let's finally get into the number 1 spot on today's list. The number 1 best ultimate attack in Raging Blast 2 is...
I'm done with you!
I know this is probably going to be a controversial pick for the number 1 ultimate attack, but hear me out on this one. This ultimate, to me at least, is honestly perfect. The animations are great, the attacks feel powerful, and it completely reeks of Turles. The string of attacks all connect together beautifully like a glove, and it all feels powerful and savage at the end of it all. The stomp that Turles does to the opponent's head is humiliating, and the blast that follows absolutely annihilates them afterwards. Everything I've described about attacks like the Fierce Combination or the Burst Rush is refined and perfected in a way that really makes me love this attack. It perfectly captures the movie that Turles is from, the character himself, the power they hold, and the way they fight in a single move. I'm in love with the Meteor Burst, and I'm honoured to have this as my personal favourite number 1 ultimate attack in Raging Blast 2. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this top 10 list. Again, this is my personal pick, so if your favourite ultimate didn't land on this list, then let me know what your favourite is in the comments below. Hey, and while you're at it, why not give me a top 10 of your own? See what you think. I always appreciate any and all comments on these videos, so be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and hey, if you're new here, why not subscribe? Again, it's the only way to keep up with content I release, whether it be Raging Blast content, any other vlog content, you know, just content I put all of my heart and soul into. But with that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all in the next video of mine. Take care, and goodbye.